Here we go. Podcasting is a $30 billion a year industry, and today we're going to pick the final two contestants on the Mapprentice.
Yeah. Calicanis. O2, holla. Talk to me quick, y'all. Yeah. Cabron hydrogen. Yeah. Say it twice for y'all.
Welcome back, everybody. Great job. Each of your episodes was fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to narrowing the field down to the top two today. It's going to be a very hard decision, but with me, of course, Lauren Feldman of 1938 Media.
Thank you.
And Alex Albrecht of Dig Nation, Totally Rad Show, owner of a lot of dig stock, which is going to make him much more wealthy than any of us. What we're going to do today is pretty simple. We're going to watch each episode, and then we're going to get your reaction to it. We want to hear what each contestant thinks of each other and what the performance they did. You're going to hear from the judges, and then we'll have everybody leave. The judges will caucus, and then we will make our decision. Let's start with two of the people who are not here. We'll start with Nadine's first.
Nadine covered mixed martial arts in her Mahalo Daily episode. Will she fight her way to the top or get caught in a sleeper hold?
Lauren, what did you think of the episode?
I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I mean, something blah about it. I don't know why, truthfully.
It's really hard. When the guy was like, grabbed her and then said, see, this is where I really want to be right here. And she's just like, I was like, are you kidding me? You don't make a joke about that? Like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Guy hugging you? This is where I want. I mean, I was like, come on.
Andrea, you seem like you're dying to say something. What do you think of her episode?
To be honest, I thought that she didn't present enough of herself. I thought that it was a little too technical and was, from a producer's standpoint, the video she got could have been really exciting and exhilarating and like, wow, look at those cool moves. And she chose instead to go over the very basics, and I think that that's maybe was the wrong angle to take.
The intro was very weak. There was no outro, and those are the bookends of the episode, and that's what a host is supposed to do. So on that basis, it was a failure. And then also, it was boring. It's a bad episode, actually. I probably, if they showed me the episode before airing it, I would say junk it.
Michelle went go-kart racing for her episode of Mahalo Daily. Will she come in first, or will it need some work in the pit stop?
Lauren, what did you think?
I liked it a lot.
What did you like about it?
She's just I like her. She's just bubbly. I love the big smile.
Yeah.
I thought that it was really genuine. I thought she interacted with the guy great. I thought that she worked well with the subject material. Technically, opening, closing with there. I thought it was very strong.
I definitely remember laughing out loud when she spun out and screamed like guttural.
Yeah.
I am like in a dark alley and men are chasing me, which was amazing. And then really, really funny coming by, giving you this sort of like,
I'm gonna get
do it, man. And then winning, which was actually pretty fun. I think she was a tad nervous at the top, just a tad, but I could easily see her hosting the show.
Honestly, not showing up to this today is, in my opinion, like a huge thing that says I don't care about this as much. And, I know we all made a strong effort to be here, so I would say DQ for sure.
It's a compelling case you make. I have to say, I'm really annoyed that they didn't make it, and I almost feel like they should be disqualified for not coming, but it was a great show.
You know, the one thing I will say, this made me want to go and try this.
I had the same thing.
I did not feel that way about the mixed martial arts thing, and
Yeah.
Well, night
More
and
to
day
see.
compared to those two episodes. You can't even compare.
J-Do? Andrea covered how to shoot a gun for her Mahalo Daily episode. Will her podcast hit the mark or leave the judges gun shy?
I liked it. The weakest part for me, I would have liked to have seen more information.
I think this was actually my favorite. A bunch.
Why? What did you like about it specifically?
That to me is like my girlfriend going to a gun range. You know what I mean? Like, if I was a girl and wanted to go, even if I was a guy and had never shot before, when you first go into a gun range, you have no idea what it is. Even seeing the inside of a gun range is information in my eyes. I mean, to me, it's like, oh, it'd be nice to know, a real answer to what kind of gun that her grandma should buy, or maybe what kind of gun she should buy, although the guy was fine with the 9mm. But it was just so much fun from beginning to end.
Sarah, your thoughts?
I honestly didn't learn anything from the episode. Part of it was because I couldn't understand the guy, and I would have really appreciated some subtitles. Yours had some subtitles, right? Like that's totally. But then I questioned, could you guys even understand what he's saying if there weren't subtitles? So I didn't like that part, and I did appreciate your whole, oh my god, I'm around guns, because I would have been exactly the same way, but I would have edited out some of those laughs. I thought there were too many laughs.
Too many laughs.
I mean, she's clearly professional and can handle it. That's being nitpicky.
Okay. Christina, any thoughts on it?
I want to go to a shooting range.
Yeah. Good answer. Good answer. Okay.
Sarah chose to do her Mahalo Daily episode about hula dancing. Will she sway the judges, or will they be lulled to sleep?
I thought it was odd, the dance setup itself. I thought was very odd. Like, I would have expected to see you at least standing up at the very least.
You know, we talked about the go-kart thing maybe being a little bit safe. I actually thought this was, because it was so clearly like, you know, Mahalo, I'm gonna do something Hawaiian.
Right.
So to me, so the first thing I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, well, smart, one. I mean, obviously, good choice. That's like the thing. But yeah, the dancing thing threw me off.
That is how you learn hula, and that actually is dancing. There were several people who were like, why aren't they dancing? That actually is hula dancing.
Right.
And it's not what we traditionally see on television with the hips. Also, she had me in the traditional hula dance pose. Now, this is where I start questioning myself, because in the editing process, we took it out for pace purposes. So I wonder,
like the specific pose.
You know, I'm in this. You know, we talked about that on camera, of course, and so now I wonder, had we left that in, would everyone?
That's definitely a poor editing choice. Like you should have left that, you know, explanatory segment in, so you know people would understand a little bit more. And I certainly, I don't doubt, I know it's about the hands, but knowing your audience, you know, the general layman's not going to know that, and it's just going to look like you're slacking.
What do you think, Andrea? Be honest. I saw you roll your eyes during the episode.
I did not roll my eyes.
It's a little bit, you sort of like...
A little bit.
A little bit.
Like, you know, you guys said it was too safe, and I thought, you know, when I watched it the first time online, I thought it was a little boring.
So you're not worried about Sarah in terms of competition?
No.
I like it.
Well, I mean, the question is the show meant to be like NPR and be like slow and, you know, PBS, or is it meant to be a little bit, you know, like MTV or somewhere in between, you know?
Right.
And this felt way too PBS to me, and like, you know, maybe Nadine's was too much MTV, and I didn't like it, but I think you're capable of a lot more, which is what I think some other people said. I think you had a bad topic, but you had the right reasons for picking it, so I like you, and I like what you're able to do.
I like you, Jason.
No, I like you what you're able to do. I hated the episode, I can't lie.
Right, I hear you.
J-Dog in the house.
Christina chose to interview Dave Pensando for her episode of Mahalo Daily. Can she engineer enough votes to go to the next round, or do her levels still need mixing?
I thought that it was really informative, and you got a lot of information out of him. I thought it was actually really kind of cute the way she laughed, and it was so clearly, she was like, don't lose your on camera. And she was like, oh no, I'm laughing too much about the guns. You know what I mean? So, but I thought overall it was good.
I just didn't like the way it was shot at all. I did like a lot when she asked, how could somebody get into this business? That's very Mahalo-esque, and I thought that was great. I'm not gonna lie, I liked this gal from day one. I still like her. It was a little boring, to be honest. You know, I mean, I like music, just still a little boring. I just like her.
You actually are a musician, right, Christina? You actually are in a band. So, I mean, like, even if he was just remixing something that you had or some of your music, that would probably, I'm sure the audience would have loved.
Could have worked the environment for sure.
I don't even know if they had a vocal booth in there. It's just it's the mixing. That's not where you would necessarily track vocals. You need to go to a different room to track vocals.
Did you think of that?
Things like that. The thought really didn't cross my mind, to be honest with you. I really wanted to try to emphasize the gear, but when it came to the editing time, it was just a little boring, to be honest with you. And he does talk a lot. He has about 3 answers for every question, which isn't the best thing, so we made do with, you know, what we had.
I felt like you have come so far during this competition, from the stand-up where You know, like you've never done any of this. You've never gone to hosting school. A number of the other people here have gone to hosting school. You've never hosted anything before. And you've come so far that I could actually see you hosting the show, which I thought I never would say that because I didn't think you could do it, but you can actually do it. And this episode, although boring at times, but still was informational, and you're natural. So I thought overall you did good. It's not the best episode out of the lot, but it's not the worst.
Mapprentice. Leia chose to do her Mahalo Daily episode about capoeira, the art of Brazilian dance fighting. But can she boogie into the next round?
Laura Feldman, what do you think?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
TV quality.
TV quality.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Can't say a bad thing. Very attractive girl, very professional, focused on her guests. Wasn't looking to, be goofy or dopey or anything like that. Super informative, high energy. I have nothing bad to say about it.
I mean, I sort of agree with you. It was like one of those things, and this has been because you're really good. You look great. You're very crisp on camera, and there's just something about your delivery that's just a little too. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say she's too good.
Sarah?
I think maybe what you mean by the most professional is she is the one out of all of us that naturally exudes host. Like, that is the way she talks to us out there while we're waiting. That is the way she carries herself. I saw this episode and I said, okay, I'm done. Thank you. This was by far the best episode, I thought.
You're definitely the most professional. You're a bit of a brainiac, which is good, except that some people might consider you boring. You picked a great subject because not everybody knows what it is. Some people have heard about it. You did an awesome job, the best job of anybody at educating the audience, which is very important to me. I want people to learn from the show. It's very important to the brand. The brand is about helping people and educating people, so it's equal parts entertaining and informative. Okay, I'm going to ask all the contestants to step out for a moment while I caucus with the judges, and we'll have you back in 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, though.
You did an
very good
incredible
jobs.
job, everybody. Okay, the judges and I have conferred with the staff, and now we have the hard work of going from 6 down to 2. I want to thank everybody for doing a really great job. I want to thank the judges for giving great feedback, and the crew for shooting some great episodes. 2 people aren't here today, Nadine and Michelle. In life, if you don't show up, you miss the opportunity. They're both fired for not showing up. Or I should say they're not hired. Nadine's episode was weak, so it didn't matter. Michelle, her episode was pretty good. And she could have made it possibly. But I just can't do it. If the person doesn't show up and they had 2 weeks notice, it's just one night on a shift and as a waitress in a place, one of those life-changing possible experiences, and you don't take it, that means you might not go to bat for the show when the show needs you. And I just can't work with somebody like that. Andrea, if you were me, who would you fire?
Sarah.
Leah?
Sarah.
Christina, if you were me, who would you fire? You have to answer.
Sarah.
Sarah, why shouldn't you be fired if everybody thinks you should be?
Because I live and breathe internet video. These ladies showed up for an audition just like they go to all auditions. It was just another job for them. This is the job that I want. Internet video is where I want to be.
Christina,
Yes.
you have the least experience. Some of the other contestants are much stronger than you. Why should you be given the shot over the people who have much more experience and did a better job on this task?
Because I've proved that I can grow, and I can definitely take it to lengths that you never thought possible. And that's real.
It's tough. Tough job. Sarah, I think you're great. Your episode was terrible. You're capable of a lot more, but I don't think it's a fit. Not hired. I have to ask you to leave. But I appreciate everything you did for the show, and I think you're going to do great. I think you'll have awesome success.
Thank you, and I appreciate everything that you've done.
Thank you.
Nadine, Michelle, and Sarah have all been fired. Tomorrow, Leah, Andrea, and Christina will face off in the boardroom, fighting for the last 2 slots. Who will survive? Stay tuned for more of The Mapprentice.
O2, holla. Talk to me quick, y'all.